Hello. This is a little video on how to properly tune the guitar. Okay, so we have this tuner. First thing you want to do is turn it on by holding this silver button, and it's on. Okay, so there are different settings for the guitar tuner. These buttons, these two black buttons here, change the settings. So if you see right now it's set to C at the very bottom. What you want to do is hold down on this black button, and then if you push the button again, it will change the setting. So you see that, and you want it to stay on, sorry, I'm trying to show it here, on G, which stands for guitar. So now it's set to guitar, and that's what we want to tune. So once we have that all set, take it, pinch it like this, and you're going to put it on the headstock of the guitar. This is the headstock. And you pinch it and you clip it, and you don't want to clip it like this. You want it to be a really good grip. So you push it down like that. So you wait till you're all the way up against, I'm trying to show it properly here, the headstock, and it's clipped on. Now, to the actual tuning part. So, this is what the guitar should sound like when it's properly tuned, okay? And as we remember our saying, the names of the strings are E, A, D, G, B, E. To remember that, we have that saying, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. So those are the strings when they're properly in tune. But because your guitar is so new, it's out of tune. It's really out of tune. And that's when, especially if you had it shipped to you, the shipper leaves the strings with no tension at all. That way they don't snap when they're being shipped. So if you notice here on the screen, do this a little bit better, 6, it's standing for the string that's closest to the ceiling here, E. So when the string is properly tuned, it will flash green. It will go green right here. If you see a little bit of red, that's okay too, but you want it to flash green. You want it to fill up and basically go, if you think of it like a clock, this is the top of the clock, this is midnight, you basically want it to hit midnight. Each string has its own, what we call tuning peg. Sorry, just trying to get the angle right here. So each of these little pegs will lower or raise the pitch. So if I turn it towards me, right? You see how it changed? It now says D because the pitch is being lowered. Yours might sound as low as this, and you'll feel it. The lower the pitch is, the looser the string is. So you want this first string to be E and say 6 on it. So you want it to say 6 and the letter E, okay? So now what I'm going to do, and what you need to do to raise the pitch for this string, you need to turn the peg, the tuning peg for this particular string, which is right here, you need to turn it away from you like this. And you hear that, how it's slowly getting higher. The pitch is going higher. You see now we're going past D, and now we're at E. It says 6, it says E, but it's not at the green yet, right? We need it to hit midnight. We need it to go right there at the top. As you see, and this is what you do, you sort of turn a little and then strum. Turn a little and then strum. It's really not a lot of moves that you need to do. It's very subtle. You see now we're getting closer. It's yellow, but so that means it's still what we call flat. It's still not at the pitch, but it's getting closer. You see how I'm just doing these little turns again, and I'm still turning it away from me, this peg, to raise the pitch, but just the tiniest bit. And then once you do a couple more times, and then you see here, it's green. So we're set. This string, the E string, is in tune. It says number 6, the letter E, and it's hitting the green mark. It's hitting midnight. It is in tune. If it sounds just like this string is in tune. Let's move on to the next string. A, you see? It should say number 5, A, and again, just like the other one, it will hit the green, okay? And just like this, at the moment, yours will probably sound lower, right? You see how now it says G because I just changed it? I turned it towards me. If you turn the peg towards you, you will lower the pitch. So what do we have to do now? We want it to say number 5 and A. So we want to, again, with this peg, raise the pitch. So again, very slowly, turn the peg away from you. Counterclockwise. If you're sitting here with the guitar, counterclockwise. And you see how it's slowly getting higher? It's almost at the green. Look at the screen there. There you go. This is what the A string should sound like. Moving right along to the D string. Again, this now, when it's in tune, should sound like this. As you see here, it should sound like this. Number 4, D, and be hitting the green, be hitting midnight, okay? So now we've tuned the first 3 strings, E, A, D. And it's okay if you see a little flash of red, like this. You see a little flash of red. As long as it hits back to the green, you're good. And this is what they should sound like. So if it sounds like that, you've tuned the first 3 strings closest to the ceiling. Now, it's a little bit different when you're tuning the bottom 3 strings, G, B, and E, because the way you raise the pitch and lower the pitch with these 3 tuning pegs is the opposite. So remember how with these 3 pegs, to raise the pitch, you would turn it away from you. It's the opposite with these 3 pegs. So here, this string is supposed to be G. Right now it's G, it says number 3 because it's the 3rd string, and the letter G. And it's hitting the green. But yours probably sounds like this. It's flat. It's flat. You see how it's not even getting close to the green. So to raise the pitch with this string, the G string, again, and this applies to these 3 bottom pegs. To raise the pitch, you turn the peg towards you. You see? So you strum with your thumb on your right hand, and you slowly turn the peg towards you. You see how now the pitch is going up? It's getting closer, it's getting closer. Almost there, you have to finesse a little bit. There you go, we're at our green. And so like I said, it's okay. Sometimes you need to turn it back a little bit to lower the pitch. But as long as it goes back to green, it's okay if it flashes a little red. This is the G string. This is what it should sound like. Moving right along, this is the B string. I go to this peg. Again, yours probably sounds lower, very low. Again, you turn it towards you to raise the pitch. It should say number 2, B, and flash green. There we go. This is what your B string should sound like. See how it's hitting the green, hitting midnight there? It says B, number 2. Last string, the E string. This is in tune. I'll lower it a little bit though, just so we can try it again. You see how it's yellow? It's not there yet. It says E, but it's not there yet. So again, you turn the peg towards you with that's the same for all three of these pegs. To raise the pitch, you turn it towards you. Slowly, you strum, then you turn. A little back and forth. Once it reaches that green top of the screen there, it's in tune. This is what your E string, as you notice, there are two E strings on the guitar. There's one E string here, which is a lower octave. That's the one closest to the ceiling. And then there's an E string here that's at the bottom of the closest to the floor. That's a higher pitch version. But it's the same note when they're in tune. So this is what your guitar should sound like when it's in tune. E, A, D, G, B, E. The guitar is now in tune. And once it's in tune, you can just hold that silver button to turn off your tuner and you're ready to play. And you'll need to, especially because it's a new guitar, you'll need to get the strings used to that tension, and it will probably go out of tune, relatively easily, but every time you tune it, it will get a little bit easier and it will hold its tune better the more you tune it, the more frequently you tune it. I hope this helps.